Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Dennis Adele here. So today's adventure is going to take us back to California, in Culver City, California. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. The reason I'm opening things up the way I'm doing it today is because I want to remind you to stay until the end of this vlog, because at the end, I'm going to give you a lot more information and as well as my thoughts about our destination today. So without further ado, let's get to it. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that thumbs up as well. Here we go.
Hey gang, where we at today? Well, we're doing the Sony Pictures Studio Tour. And I can film some, but not a lot. So we're gonna get what we can and get going, okay? How many of you remember Johnny Number 5? Anybody remember Johnny Number 5? There's Johnny Number 5 from Short Circuit. Everything that we're filming right now has been used in movies. Moneyball. That was a good movie. Ali. There you go, Bill Murray, Groundhog Day. One of our favorite TV shows was The Goldbergs. There's the pictures that they used of the 3 kids. And then, of course, from the Goldbergs, some of the things that they had. Look at the hamburger phone. Remember that. And then, of course, the video camcorder. So, very cool. But probably the coolest thing is what Debbie's going to come over and take a look at. Debbie, let us know, what are we looking at right now?
Well, this is supposed to be Jerry Seinfeld's kitchen. Apartment, but it doesn't
it's not
like
the
it.
real one, they said.
Oh, I know, but
It's not the real one. But we were told that Jerry Seinfeld actually came here, filmed a commercial in here, and sat on the couch. But this is the one that has not been used in any of the movies or TV shows, but he did sit on that couch. Okay.
is it Kramer?
Okay, and by the way, I just want to, Debbie would like to thank everybody that's watching YouTube, our YouTube channel. We won an Oscar, Debbie.
I'd like to thank all the little people.
OMG. Then we come over here. Ricky Bobby himself. That's right. From Talladega Nights. It's Ricky Bobby. Okay, other things. Katie Seagal, when she played, of course, Peg Bundy. There's an outfit that she would wear. Yep. Okay, some of the other things, and we'll walk around here. We've got about 10 minutes. We're allowed in here. As I was saying before, we can't videotape everything, so we will do our best to get what I can, and maybe get some pictures later on. Spider-Man here, of course. Stuart Little. Here we go.
Textures and patterns played a big role in creating
Hotel Transylvania.
This unifying pattern
Of course,
overlapping
Adam
shapes,
Sandler's movie.
varying values and hues was used to give textures a more painterly and abstract feeling. These textures were also painted to be more detailed up close, and more painterly in view from a distance.
Men in Black. It might be.
We've seen some of the inspiration and design that went into the look of our film. Now let's explore the color and lighting of the artists of Sony Pictures and Movies. One of the main goals of lighting is to create a warm and inviting atmosphere.
Speaking of Spider-Man, back in here is from the movie Spider-Man. There's Spidey himself. Original Ecto 1
Got a
car.
lot of fun from the city of New York. We had to go. So we switched to the Ecto. Permanent sets here on our lot. Everyone else, when they finish filming for the season, they'll pack up, leave, maybe come back a while later. But Jeopardy and Wheel shoot consistently all year round, so they just stay here all the time, keep making us money. Does everyone know what Jeopardy is? Just making sure. Sometimes? Okay, perfect. Sometimes we have guests who haven't seen the show, so I like to check. But anyways, so Wheel and Jeopardy shooting all year round, multiple episodes per day. So Jeopardy shoots about 4 episodes a day when they're filming, and Wheel's even quicker, about 6 every day. And so they take about an hour each, shoot them back to back. But you might hear that and think, hang on, if you win Jeopardy, you stay on till the next day, play the next round. How does that work? Well, actually, producers tell contestants to bring several changes of clothes. So if they win the round, go backstage, change outfits, boom, suddenly it's Tuesday. Come back out, shoot the next episode. Movie magic! But that's why if you're watching Jeopardy at the end of the week, and someone who's been winning for a little while looks pretty exhausted, that's because they've been playing Jeopardy for 5 hours straight. And however, you might also hear me say, wait, they're filming 4 episodes a day all the time, all year round, like, how are we in here? Well, I say consistently year-round, but consistently in this sense actually just means spread out evenly. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune shoot about 36 days out of the year, which, if you add it up, is a little bit less than once a week. And so they spend the rest of the time building new sets for special themed episodes, writing the questions, writing the puzzles, and Ken Jennings is getting his hair coiffed. Takes a long time. Over here, of course, the infamous question board, host's podium, contestants' podiums, and the final Jeopardy board. And can you guys see behind the podiums over there? Do you see little like rectangular platforms on the ground, little spots?
I do not.
That's okay. If you go a little further that way, you can see them. But those are platforms where the contestants stand. Have you ever noticed that everyone on Jeopardy is suspiciously the same height? Oh! Those platforms raise and lower to make everyone the same height. Looks better for television. The platforms actually used to only raise and to make everyone the height of the tallest contestant. Convenient, right? Would make sense. Except one day we were doing an episode of Celebrity Jeopardy, and a little man by the name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came on our show. Famous basketball player. And the fire marshal said that if we made everyone the same height as him, we would have to put harnesses on people. So now the platforms also go down. Any questions about all this stuff we're looking at? Speechless group today.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
How do you get the contestants? How do they pick contestants?
Great question.
Sure, that too.
Super easy, in fact. Did you say audience or contestants?
Our audience. Let's do audience. I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Okay, perfect. You pointed here. Perfect. You can just go to Jeopardy.com and sign up for a taping. It's totally free. They want you to come. All the dates are listed online. If you don't come, they have to pay actors to sit in these chairs. And so you could go right now. They'll be shooting probably next week, I think so. You can come on down.
Oh my gosh.
That's the Price is Right. But to answer the other half of your question, perhaps, if you would like to be on the other side of the camera, that's also I know, right? Me either. That's also on Jeopardy.com. There's a quiz, the official Jeopardy quiz. About 3% of people pass. So if you're feeling lucky. But it's not quite that easy. If you pass that, they send you a second quiz, which is even harder. And if you pass that one, then they bring you in for a screen test. And it's a lot harder to be smarter on camera because then you can't cheat anymore. So that's how they book the show. You guys have had some great questions today. Thanks for.
Where are the hosts? I mean, I know they're not here, but like, where do they just drive in for this, or do they stay around here somewhere? Or?
They do indeed. So there are parking spots you might have noticed, like right outside the stages. They'll just park right next to the stage. There are green rooms back here and back there and there. So they'll just come in this box, get ready. Come out and make magic happen. And they live, wherever they want, in LA usually. How Ken actually got the gig. Some people may know he was switching off with Mayim Bialik for a while.
Yeah.
And what happened, Mayim just couldn't come in one day, was running late, and Ken was like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And now the gig is his. Be on time in show business, right? We learned that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last questions?
No. This is awesome.
So glad, isn't it?
So there you have it, the Sony Studio Tour. Now, I got some information I want to give to you guys. First of all, some of the cool things that we did see that we couldn't take a video or even pictures of. First of all, the sound room where they do the music to the movies, okay? John Williams. If you go to Disney Plus, you'll see a story about John Williams. He's one of the most iconic film composers in history, known for creating unforgettable scores that have defined cinematic moments. He's worked on numerous legendary films, including my favorite, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, even E.T., Jaws, and Harry Potter films as well. Yeah. Now, where we went to was where John Williams has often recorded his scores at the Sony Pictures Scoring Stage, formerly known as the Barbra Streisand Scoring Stage. Yeah. The venue is renowned for its exceptional acoustics and has hosted some of the most famous film scores in history. As I said, the stage provides an ideal environment for large orchestras, allowing Williams to bring his compositions to life with incredible depth and emotion. His creative process involves collaborating closely with directors, so many directors that it's unbelievable what he has done, from Steven Spielberg, which, by the way, I sat on the couch that Steven Spielberg would sit on and fall asleep at. Okay, he let John Williams do his thing, for example. Also, John Williams, you're probably, if you're like me, a Star Wars, he is the one that came up and did the Darth Vader theme, right? Okay, the Imperial March from this studio. The board, the soundboard that they use to finalize everything, there are only 3 left in the world. Amazing, I thought. Just amazing what they have. And as far as the Barbra Streisand studio naming, Barbra Streisand wanted her own studio. They put one inside, off to the side, and it's a small room where she will come in and record whenever they would need her. All right, also sound effects. You got to have sound effects. How did they come up with it? And it was really cool. Well, they come up with it with the Foley effect. All right, or the Foley art. I'm talking about Jack Foley, who was a pioneer in the field of sound design for films. He worked during the early days of talkies, developed innovative techniques to add realistic sound effects to movies. Foley's work also involved creating sounds like footsteps, door creaking, or objects being handled. He even came up with, of course, the lightsabers, right, for Star Wars, and how he did that. Again, these were things that we could not take video nor any pictures. However, Foley also has his own area in the studios that he goes and works on stuff. And comes up with different sounds, and it's like, oh my gosh. And we were fortunate enough to go in there, but again, as I said, no video or no picture taking. So that's just a couple of things you get to see when you're at the Sony Studios. Now, you're probably wondering, hey Dennis, what's the cost? Is there free parking? What's all? Okay, so the Sony Studios picture studio is in Culver City, California. The cost of the tour, it cost us $55 per person. Reservations are required, and the tours are available Monday through Friday. Is it worth $55? I didn't see it as worth $55, maybe $35. Okay, it's like a baseball stadium tour. We couldn't go into some of the main studios. However, for a higher price, you get to go into some of the studio backlots. We didn't go that route. Types of tours. Ours was about an hour and a half, I think. Walking experience. It took us through the sound stages, as you saw in some of the video and pictures that we took. But again, not the major ones that we wanted to go to. However, we did get to go in to see the sound studio, also the Barbra Streisand sound studio. We also got to see Jeopardy, and in the same stage or same building is the Wheel of Fortune as well. Now, parking, it's free. As you pull in to the studios, there's a guard. You tell them you're there for the tour, and I mean, once you go over the speed bump, to your right, pull in, go ahead and park. Everything's right there. Everything was well marked and allowed us to just, find our way around. Highlights of the tours, of course, like I said, the sound stages, where we got to see some of those. The studio store, yeah, everybody's got the studio museum and store. Like I said, you may run into a movie star. We didn't. The closest we got was Adam Sandler's golf cart that he had left there of making Happy Gilmore, the first one. So, but there you go. So, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. I think any tour is worth it. Is it worth the $55? Like I said, no, I would say $35. But did we have a good time? You bet, and you will too. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. That's where we stand. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stick around because we've got more coming. So until next time,